Hi, I'm Jale, welcome to my channel. This is going to be a general collective reading for the sign of Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. We're going to go and link with Spirit first off to get some ideas of what you can expect to see for this month. We'll be then going on to a big spread with the Enchanted Lenormand Oracle as well as some other Oracle decks, and then we're pulling more cards for outcomes to see what you guys can expect for the end part of December. So I'm just going to get a link with Spirit first off. Let's see what they want to bring through for Sagittarius. Okay, so it's interesting. I'm feeling like there's some opportunities that will evolve, develop around this month for you. They're saying in all areas. I'm hearing the Great Escape. So I don't know whether or not you are looking to move away from something and you're trying to find out how. I don't know whether or not this could be to do with a love partnership. Everyone will be different. Obviously, this is a general reading. Please do take what resonates and leave the rest. It almost feels to me that you are decidedly shutting out sort of a chapter, really. It's like you are decisive in this and that you're fairly confident about it as well. I feel like you've already decided what you're going to do. You've already made your mind up about how you're going to resolve or do this. It's like you're refocusing on other things. You want to refocus on you. There's a refocusing going on. And I keep hearing opportunities as well. You may well have a chance to do something differently this month that you maybe wouldn't be expecting. But there's definitely something on the horizon here. They're talking about the 15th. So there may well be something around the 15th. They also want me to talk about the 26th, which is going to be an eclipse, a solar eclipse. Sun, Moon, Mercury, Jupiter and the South Node will all be in Capricorn. You are going to see a change around that day. It's definitely going to highlight certain things. It could well be that you'll be understanding maybe the need for caution in some areas. But let's just pull from the... Hang on, oh, now they're telling me off. One sec. Let me see. Now they're saying to go to the big spread. Okay, so we're going to pull from the Lenormand here. And we're going to put 36 cards out for Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising and or Venus signs for the month of December 2019. Sagittarius, please, Spirit. Right, now they're telling me to stop. I did pre-shuffle these cards. So just obviously I'm going to put the cards out. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it'll be 4 lots of 9. We're going to sort of see where the cards are interacting with the groups of, or the main features of the cards will be interacting with other cards to sort of get a clearer, bigger picture, really. Obviously, you guys, Sagittarians, do like to see the bigger picture. I'm a Sagittarius ascendant, so I also like to see the bigger picture. Let's just see where this is all leading up to here. That's upside down. Oh, they're saying leave it. Okay. Okay, so let's double check here. We need to... Right. One sec. Just moving the cards along. Okay, so let's just double check this card. They're happy with that. Which one? Okay. Okay, right. So first of all, it could be that the main theme of this is looking at where there is a lack within your kind of month. Okay, with the first kind of 3 cards are very indicative of the themes. The first 3 are the mice, the key and the ship. Okay. The mice is usually kind of very obvious when it comes to where there is a lack. Where has there been something that has maybe been taken from you whereby you were unable to kind of top it up, or where is there an imbalance? Where is your focus needing to go? Okay, so they're asking you to look at areas in which you felt like haven't really fulfilled you, haven't really allowed you to be you. Okay, this is very interesting because the way they've said be you is the real key theme. It's like you must make sure that you are acting out on your own best interests. And yeah, okay, maybe some people will say, well, isn't that selfish? It isn't when it's at the state of your own boundaries, okay? It's not when the importance here is starting as you mean to go on and closing out a cycle, especially with the end of this decade. I mean, this is the last month of a 10-year decade. We're moving into the 2020s. It's starting as you mean to go on. Where have you been undervalued here? Where have you not been honoured within your own gifts, abilities, self, identity, monetary, in a monetary three-dimensional way, but also spiritually? Where have you been lacking? Where is there a lack in your life? That is going to be the focus, okay? You might be saying, well, yeah, it's Christmas. Of course, everyone's got a lack. It's money. There's more to it than that. It's not just based on a three-dimensional kind of awareness of what the current state of affairs are. Now, interestingly, next to that is the key. The key is very much about an unlocking process. There's also a gift behind that. Usually when we're opening a door, unlocking something, there is a gift to be held underneath that. Now, I'll go into the surrounding cards and we'll go into a bit more depth, but this is just the key themes. The key is usually about, again, it's about understanding, it's about awareness, but it's also about, again, I'm hearing honouring yourself, honouring your needs, honouring you, starting as you mean to go on. Having your needs met, having you being fulfilled in every area, okay? This is where your lookout is. It's like you are meant to, within this month, look across the board and define and sort of identify where that isn't happening and resolve it, okay? Now, interestingly, we've got the ship as number 3, and the ship is usually about moving away from something, moving from location to location. It's about a journey, okay? This is also about moving away from things that don't serve you, okay? So don't be afraid to close doors. Don't be afraid to put boundaries down. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Fear is part of control, or control is part of fear. So we need to release that a little bit, unlock that kind of area. Now, interestingly, as you look for the wider picture here, next to the ship is the rider. And again, it's whatever you need to do to move away and shift that energy, do it. The fact that we've now got 2 transportation cars next to each other is alerting me to the fact that there is either going to be a big shift with you guys, or there's something that you can do in order to shift that. I'm hearing perspective. Maybe you're going to get a very clear perspective shift around this month that is going to lead you to unlock further things. Okay, now interestingly, we've got the ship, the horse and the dog all next to each other. It's like they're progressing in size in terms of travel. And then next to that, we've got the heron. There is a lot of change coming up here. There's a lot of change coming up. It's like your values are being questioned, your loyalties are being questioned, you and yourself are being questioned, but not from outside external influences. This is via you. You are also, essentially, you're taking audit. It's like you're auditing yourself. Where is this needing to be improved? What is it I can do in this area? That is going to be your key focus. I'm hearing I've had enough as well. So I don't know if some of you have sat there going, this year didn't pan out as I expected. I don't want to be in this situation where I'm playing a guessing game. I'm hearing all will be revealed. So again, look out for perspective shifts. Look out for that redefined values from yourself and how also you're viewing your external environment. So if you're auditing yourself, again, that is going to essentially cause you to view other things within your own life to shift. Therefore, you're probably going to have a different viewpoint around you as well, because obviously your values are changing, your vibration shifting, therefore your external environment will, as within, so without. You know, we're a reflection of our external environment. So underneath the mice is a mountain, okay? So there could have been obstacles. You could have faced a long trail of evolution where you've tried to kind of move past something. They're not saying that this is going to be sort of a hop, skip and a jump and then that's it, 2 days into sort of 5 days into December, it's over and done with, you know, this is all great and, you know, we can just chill out now and enjoy December. There is going to be more at stake here, and it's like, it's not so much, it's more of a journey. It's not like a mountain, I'm not reading it as a mountain in terms of, oh my goodness, we've got all these terribly hard obstacles to overcome. It's more like you and your development. That's how I'm seeing it. where do you define yourself? Underneath the mountain is a heart, okay? So this is also about your emotional needs and where are you placing your love? Where is your energy going into? Is it being given? Is there an equal give and take? Now it's interesting because underneath the heart card is the anchor card, okay? Now that is part of one of the four corners, which again is the secondary themes within the reading. Anchor is usually about putting roots down, making legacies, taking stock of really where you want this to go. Now, the fact that you had loss, then, you know, a lack, mountains, obstacles, then a heart renewal, and then anchor, it suggests to me that there is going to be a re-establishment of where you are laying your time, your roots, your resources, your money, everything, your energy within this month. You are going to look at this month as if to say, again, the audit. What is this person giving me? Am I realistically long term going to gain, have a balance within this connection? If I am, great, and if I'm not, do I need to move forward and shift my energy away from that environment? And again, where is your heart center? Where is your passions? Are you, you know, putting yourself into a project that is long term? And okay, maybe the first few initial stages of the project were particularly challenging, but it's like your heart is still in it and you're growing the roots to this project. This is going to be the overall energy with you guys for this month. What means something to you and what doesn't? And I feel like it's not just on a surface level. This is not just, okay, here's my bills, this is the wages I'm getting. The bills are covering the wages. I've got X amount left. Right, where can I put that money? This is long term. Where do you see yourself? Okay, so if you've got a 5-10 year plan, are you reaching certain things? Because I feel like you guys are taking a look at that. It's like you guys are all reevaluating where you are now, where you want to be. And if you're not, then I feel like you will be during this month. And it's not just because of Christmas, but interestingly, it might well be that the people you have around that kind of Christmas period, and again, if you don't celebrate Christmas, just look towards the end of the month to see this. There are going to be people that are going to be challenging your viewpoints. You're going to come across people that are going to challenge you, and it's not because they're trying to throw some drama your way or some, you know, shade your way because they've got nothing better to do. These are divinely orchestrated in order to hold a mirror up to you and go, do you want to be in this point? And if you do, where do you see this evolving? And if you see this evolving to this point, is this beneficial for you? And if it is, what else do you need to be aware of? It's really deep. It's like you're not just kind of peeling back the layers to have a look at a 360-degree angle, you know, sort of from a bird's eye view. You're looking with binoculars under a microscope and you're really dissecting this. And it's not for any other reason other than your heart. It's like you want to be happy. You're not doing this for money. You're not doing this for greed or anything low vibrational. This is about heart-centered needs, wants, desires, wishes, wish fulfillment. It's about how you can sustain that and where you can get to within that point. And the anchor being that definitive kind of let's release, you know, releasing the anchor is usually grounding you to a certain point. This is about wishing, setting that intention, and then grounding it. So it's a transference from the fifth dimension, sort of, you know, manifesting into that rooted 3-dimensional. It's like you're trying to see where this year has kind of grounded you and do you want to remain there. So with the key underneath that, we have the girl. There is, again, if you're male watching this, this is going to be obviously in relation to the opposite sex. Maybe there's a situation that's unlocking for you within that situation. And if you are, you know, identifying as a female, again, it's going to be more personalised for you and your own needs rather than externally, okay? So it will differ. Because obviously the mountain is next to the girl as well, it's about your own personal, it's very much about your own personal challenges. And there's something very karmic about this as well. There's something very karmic. Now, okay, we do have a south node that's going to be very much in a very close conjunction with Sun, Moon, Mercury, and Jupiter. Jupiter being the planet of luck, Mercury being communication, Sun being the masculine, and Moon being the feminine. There is probably going to be some kind of energy because obviously Capricorn, that would be within your first or second house, wouldn't it? Depending on where the Sagittarius, your placement is in Sagittarius. But that's usually in relation to the self. So I feel like you're going to get a revelation around the self. Now, obviously, if you want me to dig a little bit deeper within your personal situation around the alignment with the eclipse, then do email me. I'm going to do a basic overview for £10 and an in-depth analysis for 30. Let me know if you're interested. But not only that, I feel like you're also, because we've got the bouquet underneath the girl with the key. And again, if you're masculine, this is going to probably provide some kind of connection that is going to unlock. I feel like also this will be for feminines as well, because we've got the man directly next to the female. Interestingly, you seem to be looking back over things, and the male, it seems to be looking forward. Now, if you're watching this and you're male, then you are looking to the future and you're reviewing things. And if it could be that your counterpart, if your counterpart is female, then they're looking back. So obviously, depending on who's watching this, someone is looking to the future and someone is looking to the past. So because we've got the bouquet next to the female, this is about, I'm hearing a challenge. It could have been that there was some situation that involved a love connection here that is providing a challenge. Maybe there's a distance behind it. But because we've got the clouds underneath it, there's a confusion surrounding this. There's some kind of lack of clarity. Now, where the clouds look is facing the moon, which is, again, could be that there's something that's going to unlock around the eclipse here, because obviously we do have the moon. But moon is also about, it can be about illusion. It can also be about confusion as well. There's something around this that is underdeveloped, or there's a practicality within a love connection here that is unestablished. But it's like where you, if you're feminine energy watching this, you may well be reevaluating, is this what I want? It could be that you are being approached by someone who wants to move things forward, and you feel like, yes, okay, I'm a bit confused about that situation. Let me just unlock all my other stuff that I have to deal with first of all before we can look at this. Now, because of the ship, the rider, this could be someone at a distance or someone that would need to travel to reach you. Okay, there is something lucky about this connection though, because underneath the moon we have the clover, which is usually, I mean, it can indicate a sexual connection that is, it could be a one-time thing, but it can also be something lucky that's prosperous. There could have been previous situations or issues around this connection, because the broom is next to the clover, which indicates a bit of sort of disruption, a few arguments maybe. But I feel like you could even have more than one choice if you are a feminine, because we've got two males next to each other here. One could be at a distance, one could be, coming in fairly quickly. I feel like if you do have two, the one that has been maybe a bit disrupted around maybe some arguments is the one that's going to come in fairly quickly. The one that maybe is at a distance, if that does resonate with you, again, there's a bit of confusion around that. Now, again, with the fact that obviously I also look at the four corners of each of the big card spreads, we've also got the star in the opposite corner there. The star is usually indicative of wish fulfillment, okay? This is usually something where you're manifesting something and you're seeing a result. Now, it can also be indicative as per the tarot, which is usually a far-fetched or a longer-term goal. And it can also be indicative of Aquarius, okay? So just bear that one in mind. Now, interestingly, it's next to the sun. To me, this is confirming about the eclipse, because we have in the first three columns the moon, and now next to a very key card we've got the sun and the star. So this is talking to me, I feel, about fate. Something is fated here, again, with the key being unlocked. It could be that before the 26th you're seeing not as much evolution here, and then afterwards something's being unlocked and something is coming towards you with the boat, with the ship. There is definitely some choices to be made, okay, because we've got the path that's underneath the stars. Again, it's about choices, decisions. Where do we go from here? What are we doing? It could well be the first part of the month that you do decide to look and do an analysis and audit, and then at the tail end of the month, this new energy comes in. And then you have to make decisions, because underneath the path is letters, which is communication. It's about an expression of interest. It's about news, something being revealed, okay? And then underneath that we have the birds, okay? And again, this is again about communication. It can be about sort of family, friends getting together and interacting. News, this is essentially news. So you are definitely going, and again, if you're not in contact with these people, this is going to change, because the energy is showing that there is going to be lots of communication around this. Now, interestingly, next to underneath the sun, we've got the bear, which can be very protective, fatherly energy or grandparent energy, or even a parent's energy. And again, with the fact that it's linked to the sun, it could be masculine. Okay, and then underneath that is the child. So maybe the if there is a male in this scenario, there could be a child around this. Maybe the male is putting the child's interest first, and that maybe that was what the argument was about. And now there's some choices to be made, because again, there seems to be a childly priority that someone is placing here. Now, interestingly, underneath the child is the fish in reverse. Now, the fish is indicative a little bit of Pisces, where they tend to kind of go in circles a little bit. No shade. They tend to sort of be a bit sort of altruistic with their methods and their kind of directional energy. But because it's underneath the child and it's sort of in the reverse, it looks like, from where I'm looking here and what they're telling me, that there's a clear decision, a clear path is going to be made within this month, okay? And it's going to be stuck to, because I'm just hearing from them that a decision is being made and it will be rooted. Again, don't forget we had the anchor as one of the key themes. Let's have a look what else we're going to see here. If there is another third party in the situation, that's going to be closed out, because we do have another female in the spread, but in between the nearest male and the female in a diagonal situation is the scythe, which is very much about endings. Okay, so there could be, if there is a third party involved, this again will be closed out. There's also a masculine energy in this reading that is wanting to, again, take that leap of faith and make roots, because, again, in diagonal kind of movement forward, which, again, is indicative of where this person is going to be moving around the month, we've got the path and we've got the tree. And, again, the tree is very rooted, very grounded energy, someone that has made their decision, someone that has made their mind up, okay? And again, out of the two, it looks like there could only be one third party within that situation, but someone is closing out a cycle here. Someone is closing out a cycle and choosing how they're going to move things forward within this situation. Let's see what else they want to give me with this. I might go to some other oracle cards here. Let me just... I'm going to pick from the Oracle of the Radiant Sun by Caroline Smith and John Astrop here, just to get some more layers here with this, see what else is going to be happening, just seeing what else they want to give. They're saying wait, okay, what am I missing here? Oh, they want me to look at the numbers. I get you. Okay, let's have a look. They want me to look at the numbers. They say look for the numbers. Okay. Okay, so with the star in the second corner, this is also linked to the Six of Hearts, which is the Six of Cups. So this is suggestive of nostalgic, potential soulmate energy coming back around, something that maybe was closed off that's reopening. And if it wasn't, then it's someone coming back from the past that is holding a strong connection. We've also got, let me just double check here. We've also got the Seven of Pentacles, which is in the bottom right hand corner, which again tends to be about a waiting period. Okay, so again, it could be there's talk around this month of these developments, of these situations, but it might not be a closed, a closed book in terms of, yeah, we're going to do that and that's done. So there could be a bit of a waiting game with this, but there is discussions, there's talks around this sort of development. Again, if this is to do with a love interest that you're looking to sort of gain insight for. Nine of Spades. Yeah. There is a bit of a defensive energy here. We've got a little bit of a defensive energy here. 7 of Wands and 9 of Wands in the first two corners. The top corner and the sort of bottom left corner. Bit of a defensive energy with the 7 of Wands and the 9 of Wands. It could be that you are trying to focus on you, and this energy coming back in is kind of like, really? You know, sort of what, hang on a minute, and that's why you're wanting to review the past, and you're sort of not a bit undecided. They're in it. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. They're number 12 position. Okay, so 12, one's in 12 position, and one's in. Okay, so the child could be linked to the person that previously had arguments with. There could be some child type of scenario that they are linked to, that they're currently in discussion with. The other person who may be at a distance, there is definitely going to be strong communication here, because they're linked to a number 12, which is birds. All right. There's definitely options that are going to be discussed, but let's have a look at the mice. I'm going to have a look at the mice here and see if we can piece together more information. The number 23. Okay, so that again, that's the 7 of Wands. Yeah, just be aware of any stress. This can link to stress. Just be aware that don't live above your means. I know, obviously, Christmas. Whatever you do, if there is a monetary situation that you're trying to improve, obviously just try and make sure that you're not, look, I know it's hard when you know, if you are celebrating Christmas watching this, to sort of try and provide for everyone, whatever you do. And I know it's not great to sort of hold on to money and be like some, you know, miser that thinks that, you know, because obviously you're coming from a place of lack, but just if you are having that imbalance around the money, just make sure that you're not living above your means, because it's just not worth it. You know, people will understand. And you know what, sometimes it's nice to make homemade gifts. Like, you can even bake cakes or bake something like a Christmas log, or I mean, you don't have to spend the world to kind of provide for people. You can just provide a gesture of, you know, just an acknowledgement rather than spending a lot of money. You know, I think family, friends, loved ones would rather sometimes you not spend a lot of money and go overboard than, and if you're dealing with children, maybe you have children and you're worrying about that, because obviously children are not going to understand that concept. Let's have a think of the best way around that. Don't discount yourself. If you do have children, and that's a concern that you're having a sort of a concern around, you know, paying for those kind of things for the kids. Again, we've got the key next to the mice, so it could be that last minute you do get some support or help or some change in that scenario. It says criticism, self-deprecation, disappointment, productivity, self-sabotage, so fatigue. So just be very careful what you're putting out there, because mice, these are the keywords surrounding by mice with the images here. I'll show you the cards so you can get a better idea. Okay, so this is the mice card, okay. And it's the number 23. Okay, so it's adding up to 5, which is all about change. Okay, so yeah, be aware as well of any energy vampires around you. If you're having people around you that are just just be aware that that's not okay, and you really have to put boundaries down. it says love, a stressful or frustrating relationship, needy lover. Okay, so again, watch for that. If someone is taking a lot of your time up, and you're trying to, keep all your options open, you're only one person. No one's expecting you to be Superman or Superwoman. We are all human, and if we were perfect, we wouldn't be here. None of us are. So just be aware that, yeah, this is the other thing, because it's actually linked to the female card. Watch for a lack of confidence. Okay, so it could be that you're trying to build your confidence up as well, and that you're trying to kind of move past a certain point. That takes time. That is not going to be overnight sort of remedied. I mean, you can build on it step by step and baby steps in order to build that up. But if you have had a massive knock in confidence, just be aware that you're awesome. Like yes, everyone has weaknesses, but we have strengths as well. And let's say, for example, someone has, I don't know, maybe we've had an argument and we're deeming, because of that argument, we are then essentially thinking, well, because someone said that about me, maybe it's true. If someone is accusing you of something or is calling you something that isn't you, and you definitely know is not you, then it's not your issue. They have it wrong. And if they don't want to be aware of your words and your take on it, then that is not your issue. There's only so much you can do. Have faith in yourself and your abilities, because I'm just hearing you are lovable. So whatever this situation is about, maybe you've had a lack of faith around your romantic connections, because again, the woman is also in diagonal connection to the heart. So maybe someone left you in a position where you were kind of really doubting yourself. This is the theme for this month, that you're building on that. You're not kind of sat there thinking, yeah, everything they've said to me in this argument, or everything this person said to me within this conversation that didn't go so well and made me lose confidence, is the fact. Because is it though? Is that not just one person's perspective? And how you view yourself at this time when you're gaining your own confidence is really important, because if you're not investing value into yourself, we need this situation to change, so you do invest value in yourself, and so other people can acknowledge your value as well. And if they don't, that is not your issue. That doesn't mean to say you are not valuable. It means to say that they cannot see your value, which means they probably don't even see their own. And if they do, that's not your issue either. We cannot sit and go, hi, sales pitch, really great person, really kind. This is the thing. If people don't want to see that, then are they worthwhile being around? Are they someone that you truly... If someone is diminishing your confidence, is that someone you really want around? Who is going to, as soon as you build yourself back up, you're just going to be ebbed back down again? Probably not, Yeah, this is, again, if this is in relation to themes, it's about stress, weight loss, health improving, losing a bit of money, respect being called into question. So just make sure that, again, with that kind of honouring yourself really is being upheld, because you don't want to be getting into that situation where people are just sort of totally kind of not acknowledging you. So next to that is the key. Okay, this is about discovery, breakthrough, opening, solutions, answers, revelation. Oh no,